What is up, guys? Welcome to this video. My name is Lucas, and in this one I'm going to be giving you a massive shortcut to your personal development. If you guys enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe because it helps my channel to grow, and I greatly appreciate that. This video is about positive feedback loops. But to start it off, let's ask the question, what is a feedback loop? And I'm going to give you a very basic explanation. A feedback loop is basically a system where one thing, we'll start off with two things, okay? One thing affects the other thing, which then goes back and affects the other thing, which then goes back and affects the other thing. So you can picture like a cycle. This affects that, and then it inspires this thing to affect that once again, and then inspires that thing to affect the next thing, and so on between these two things. Now this is a very simple feedback loop. I hope you can get a little bit of an image in your head. You can also just Google feedback loop and it'll show you basically just what it is, a very simple image. And there's all sorts of positive and negative feedback loops set up in government, the economy, healthcare, everything, education, and even your life and in your body. For example, a perfect example of a positive feedback loop that a lot of people set up in their lives is exercise. They like to exercise because it makes them feel alive and energized and feeling good. So we have exercise on one side of the feedback loop and feeling good on the other. So they exercise, it makes them feel good. So then they exercise more, so it makes them feel good. And then they exercise more, it makes them feel good. And it sort of becomes a system. Now, the importance of setting up a positive feedback loop in your life is like really, it's just really important, okay? This is just a massive thing. This is basically how to grow really quickly. So another example of a positive feedback loop could be reading a book. You read a book, you learn some stuff, it adds a lot to your experience. It adds a lot to the way you think about the world. It adds a lot to your awareness. It comes back around. You want more of that. You're like, wow, like that was really great. So it sets up a feedback loop. You read a book and then it gives you a particular feeling. You know, you read another book, it gives you a particular feeling, and it just circles. So you can definitely understand what I mean by a feedback loop by now. And it's insanely important that you do this because this is basically the key to growing yourself. And it's also important to recognize the negative feedback loops in your life. Like maybe you, I don't know, eat too much junk food. So you kind of feel like crap and you want to escape life. So you eat junk food and then it makes you feel worse. So then you eat more junk food and then you want to escape life because you feel like crap. So then you just go on this circle. Or maybe you're kind of lazy and you don't want to move and you just want to watch TV. So you're lazy, you kind of feel like crap, a little bit lethargic, and you don't really want to move, you just want to watch TV. So you're lazy, you watch TV, and it just creates this sort of feedback loop of just being lazy and then watching more TV, being lazy, watching more TV, until you have an intention to break this cycle. And in no way is there anything wrong with, watching TV or anything like that. If you want to enjoy it, enjoy it. And, entertainment's great, but I mean, it can't be the only thing in your life. So, I'm not judgmental towards watching TV or anything like that. If you want to enjoy it, man, I want to watch a movie. I want to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, that old Indiana Jones. I've never seen that, and I've had it saved for some time. I got to watch that movie. But moving on, entertainment's great, but I mean, you also should probably go for a run and eat some good food and do some meditation, read books. That would probably be pretty great too. But moving on, you need to become aware of the feedback loops at work in your life. Just notice in your experience, like, okay, I'm hungry, I have this feeling, it drives me to eat food, then I'm satisfied. And then it comes back, the hunger comes back, it drives me to eat food. Then, I'm not hungry. And then the hunger comes back, it drives me to eat food. And you can notice this is really for your own self-survival. You want to feel good and you want to survive, so that's why you're eating food. And then you can become more conscious of the types of food you're eating. So I'm eating junk food and I'm feeling low. And then I'm, wanting to escape life, so I eat more junk food, I feel lower. Or, I'm eating a lot of healthy food. My body feels like a pleasurable habitat. It feels like a pleasurable environment because I'm taking care of it well. So then that drives me to eat more healthy food, which drives me to eat more healthy food, and then to take it even sort of more seriously. So on and so on, and so on and so on. Or I started meditating and I realized that I have a lot of emotional dysfunction that prevents me from enjoying my life. So you realize, like, okay, I have some inner crap to work on. That's preventing me from being clear, enjoying life, and really maximizing my potential. So then you begin it, and then you realize the importance of it. So you meditate, you realize it's important, and you want to feel a particular way. You have a certain vision, and then you want to meditate again, so you work towards that vision, and on it goes. Or maybe you want to play the guitar because that's just what you're into. You just like playing the guitar. So you have the guitar, and then you have a certain way that you feel when you're playing the guitar. And then, it just carries on. You play the guitar, you feel good. It inspires you to play the guitar more, then you feel good. And on it goes. And if you don't set up and become aware, really become aware and then set up these feedback loops, it's very easy to fall prey to some crappier feedback loops because either it works in an upward spiral or kind of just a downward spiral. And you want to just be aware of where the downward spiraling feedback loops are in your life and kind of just eliminate them. I have a great video, how to quit your toxic habits and Are You in Autopilot. Those two will really help you, specifically how to quit your toxic habits. That'll really help you for this particular topic. So just noticing the feedback loops in our everyday lives is enough to actually really change your perspective on how your life kind of works. How it's not just like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to go to the kitchen, but there's a whole function, there's a system, there's a purpose to it. There's an entire just system to it. And it kind of just makes you aware of, these are the sort of micro systems, and then you can sort of see a lot of these dynamics playing out in macro systems, maybe like the economy or, political, like an election, or in a grocery store, or in your school, or in your relationship. So it's like, I don't know, my spouse gets angry at me, so then it makes me angry, and then it makes her more angry, and then it makes me more angry, and then it makes her more angry. And you can kind of break this sort of endless back and forth fighting. Anger is a very normal part of life, but it's this sort of attacking of the other person that is rather unnecessary in a lot of situations. Being angry and sort of frustrated at someone is rather normal, but it's like this sort of vicious attacking component of a lot of people's anger that is rather dysfunctional. It's pretty normal for someone, it's a rather normal thing. So in no way does this mean that you can't ever watch TV or play a video game or watch a movie, or that by doing this you'll never get mad at your spouse ever again. No, but this will make you more aware of how these mechanics are working just by noticing the feedback loops. And I'm going to talk about anger very quickly because I kind of touched something and I didn't really complete it. A lot of human anger, this is a little bit off the topic, but whatever. A lot of human anger is just their own internal crap projected onto another person. So notice when you're very mad at someone else, there's something occurring within you, like a particular body sensation that's very strong and a particular belief about the other person, and you project all of that onto them. Now, maybe someone does something and it frustrates you. That's very normal. Let's say someone steps on your foot and they continuously do it, kind of a random example, and you're getting frustrated, like, hey, can you stop doing that? That's pretty normal. But it's this sort of, you need to have the discernment and the awareness to really tell when this is happening. It's a very personal thing. It's very also intuitive, and it requires introspection to pick up on. It's hard to kind of put into logical formula right now. But you need to have the awareness of when you have a lot of ideas about the other person and there's a feeling occurring inside of you, and then you project that onto them. You sort of place this crap onto them. But this person is like this and this and this. And you have a whole narrative about them. You have a whole belief system about that person. That's a good sign of projecting. Or pre-planned arguments. You're arguing with someone in your head. That's another good one. And I want you to notice the feedback loops in every single one of these situations. So for example, in my life, I make a YouTube video. I like making videos, so I make another one. I like making the video, I make another one, and on it goes. You know, what's a negative one in my life? Maybe I eat some junk food, and I notice like, crap, this doesn't make me feel so good, so I wanna cut it off. But junk food, man, I've been working on my diet for a really long time, but sometimes I do eat some junk food. But dominantly I eat fruits and vegetables. But junk food, specifically like sweets, like banana bread, some cookies, yeah, like baked goods. I love sweets. Salty stuff I'm not too big on. I like it, but I mean, I'm not big on it. Like sweets, yeah, that's the big one. I'll eat it, and then I'll notice that, for example, I want more, because, you know, a lot of the food in our world kind of manipulates your brain to just want more of it. You know, salt, sugar, fat, you know, it manipulates you to want more. So it's like, I eat a cupcake, I want more. And I notice that, you know, I eat a cupcake again, I want more. I eat a cupcake again, I want more. There's a sort of feedback loop at work, because it's sort of manipulating receptors in my brain to just want more. Or like I scroll on Instagram, and then I want to scroll again, and then I want to scroll again, and then I want to scroll again. So I scroll, and then I want it again. I scroll, I want it again. I scroll, I want it again. And you notice that these things, they have feedback loops built into them. These people are not idiots. These people who make the food and the social media and stuff, they're not idiots. They know how to manipulate feedback loops to get your attention and to really put you on a spiral, a downward spiral most of the time, but sometimes an upward spiral. Who knows, maybe you follow a lot of great stuff on your YouTube and it puts you on to a lot of very great content, you know, depends on the situation. But a lot of the time for most people, a lot of the stuff is very downward spiral. The food, the sort of consumer culture, and the social media and stuff like that. But, you know, to sum this up, notice feedback loops in your life. Notice that when you exercise, it makes you feel good, so you kind of want to keep exercising, but maybe there's a negative feedback loop in your life that's blocking that. Maybe you get up too late because you're playing video games too much the night before, and it's the sort of, you know, feedback loop of getting up late, playing video games late at night. Or whatever. Maybe you just get kind of lazy and you want to do nothing, and there's this sort of lazy feedback loop of, you know, you are lazy, you feel lethargic, and you don't want to get up and exercise, go for a run, lift weights or whatever, do yoga. And instead you just, you know, watch YouTube videos for 12 hours a day. And then it makes you lazy, and then you just do it again. It makes you lazy, you do it again. And there's a negative feedback loop preventing you from fulfilling your positive feedback loop. So notice these playing out in your life, and that's basically it. Creating positive feedback loops and just being aware, just being aware of feedback loops will help you to excel and grow yourself significantly faster than not being aware of them. So that's it for this video. If you guys enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. Helps my channel to grow. I appreciate that. Any questions at all, leave them in the comment section. And other than that, thank you so much.